everyone. I'm doing the tag. I'm doing the question. Table topics. Uh, Table topics. Now that's interesting because when I was young, and we were all in our 20s, early 20s, 1920, there were a lot of card games going on, board games. And one of them was, started with a T. Can't remember the name of it, but it was started here in Montreal, and by some people from the Montreal paper. And some of them became millionaires because the game took off. There was questions and answers. And you would play it. Let's say your family came over to visit and you would play it for an evening or something. It was question and answers like that. I can't remember for the life of me. It was Trivial Pursuit. That's it, Trivial Pursuit. And one of the young boys, my mother's friend, one of her sons was working at the paper, and some guys, older guys, came up to him and said, "Oh yeah," they said, "invest in this $1,000 or a couple of $1,000. We're making a game. We're going to try it and see if we get rich." And he told his mother, and his mother said, "Oh no, what is it, $1,000? Oh no, don't get involved with that." So he didn't. And do you know the next thing that happened? The game took off, and everyone became a millionaire except for him because he didn't put in his part, you know. So that's a bit of Trivial Pursuit. So I'm going to do this table topics here now. 1. Who would you rather meet, your great-great-grandparents or your great-great-grandchildren? Well, I don't have any children, so it would have to be my great-great-grandparents. Now that would be very interesting because my mother's side of the family come from England, Scotland, and Ireland, and my father's part of the family come from France. Now, they've come over at different years. My great-great-grandparents on my mother's, my great-grandmother came over from England in 1865, so that means my great-great-grandparents on my mother's side would still be in England. So it'd be interesting to see how it was in England. And my great-great-grandparents on my father's side are still here in Quebec, would be still here in Quebec. And at that time, that would be going back, I guess, the same time, 1840, 1840. So 1840, that would be interesting. So I guess my great-great-grandparents. Which language would you like to speak fluently? Well, that would be French, because I was brought up English, and here in Quebec, in English school, you were taught French from grade 3, and it wasn't very much French. So when I got older, I went to the French college downtown, and it was English and French language only, teaching different classes. And it was a year's course, and I graduated. And so that was very interesting. And so it would have to be French. 3. Which instrument would you like to master? Now, when I was young, I played the guitar. I knew about 3 chords on it, 3 or 4 chords. and the electric organ, small electric organ. But I had a girlfriend, and she had a silver flute. And when I used to go over to visit, she'd give me it to try, and it was really easy to play. The silver flute, the large silver flute, is easy to play if it is a good flute. It cannot be rusted or anything, or else it will not play proper. And it was the chords are not too difficult to learn. So if I could master that, I would probably like that, the silver flute. 4. Would you prefer money for a housekeeper, cook, gardener, or personal secretary? Well, that would have to be a housekeeper, because I hate housekeeping. I don't like housekeeping. I don't like doing dishes. I don't like vacuuming. I don't like dusting and cleaning all the tables and all the knickknacks. I just don't like it, but I do it. So and when I was young, I worked as a housekeeper, mainly a babysitter housekeeper, and it was a lot of work. And when I stopped doing that, I was so glad. I thought, I felt so free. No children, no housekeeping. So it would have to be a housekeeper if I had money for a housekeeper. 5. If you could have any view from your back porch, what would it be? Well, when I was young, a young girl, I used to read a lot. And one of the books I read was The Prize, about the Nobel Peace Prize. And I used to daydream, wouldn't it be fun to live in Sweden and walk downtown Sweden in a beautiful big fur coat and just walk in the snow in the winter downtown Sweden in a big fur coat. So, of course, I'd never been to Sweden. I'd never been to downtown Sweden, so I don't know what it would be like. But I guess a nice house in Sweden, or that would have to be that. 6. Is it wrong to snoop through your spouse's belongings if something seems wrong and you don't know? Well, no, not really. Maybe little belongings, little picture here or there or something, but not personal things like wallets or big things like that, And I guess it all depends your relationship. If you're married, if you've signed a prenuptial agreement, if you haven't, etc. So I would say no, it probably is not right. 7. Do you have a moral obligation to serve others? Well, no, not to serve others. To help others if you're able, to the extent you're able to. Yes, to be kind to your neighbor and so forth. But so I guess it would have to be yes, depending on your abilities. So thank you, everyone. Goodbye. Have a good day.